Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing great today. In this video finds you in high spirits. Today we'll be talking about Under the Queen's Umbrella, episodes 15 and 16. Appreciate the one or two of you who will be watching this video. Hope you find it interesting. To me, episodes 15 and 16 was a little bit of a downfall, a little bit, kind of melodramatic. I was expecting a little bit more to happen. Especially with the rebellion group. I thought we might actually get like a big fighting scene in these last two episodes, but it didn't turn out that way. Episode 15 was more about, trying to get the evidence of the autopsy, whatever, autopsy. Trying to get the medical notes, in other words, of the previous Crown Prince to see how he was poisoned, or just get the evidence that he was actually poisoned. That way, because the Queen was wanting to know, like, why her son had to die. I kind of felt that storyline, that kind of part of the story was kind of, like, unnecessary, because she already knew. And it only gave me, like, more confusion, because at the beginning of the series, I mean, it happened, about 4 months ago? No, probably not that long ago, but about 3 months ago. Anyways, when it started, I was pretty sure like the Queen Dowager has something to do with the murder of her son, the Crown Prince. But turns out she didn't really have anything to do with it. It was actually the medical doctor Dr. Kwan, and he's actually the son of the previous queen and the brother of the Crown Prince who died 20 years ago, who was murdered 20 years ago, and he was the one who was actually killed the Crown Prince, the Queen's son. So I was a little confused on that part a little bit, because that's the whole catalyst of, the Queen Dowager and the Queen going head to head, and like, because Queen Dowager didn't approve, and so I thought she was trying to get rid of the Crown Prince because she didn't like him and she didn't like the Queen, but I don't know. Kind of twisted it there at the end, where it was actually the doctor Kwan who did it to get revenge for his brother and stuff. But anyways, I just felt like episode 15 and was a little bit of a letdown. Usually in these dramas, episode 15, that's when everything comes to a head, where the villains look like they're about to win, on the cusp of winning, of getting their goal. And then episode 16 is when the good guys come back and defeat them. But we didn't really get this in this series. Episode 15 ended with basically the downfall of the rebellious group as they caught the Dr. Kwan and realized, and actually didn't catch him. He dies at the end of episode 15. Sorry for the coughing. But then we go into 16, and what I did appreciate about episode 16 is the first half an hour we get the conflict between the Empress Dowager and the Queen Dowager and the Queen, and them trying to decide what's the best way to help the king, to protect the king. The Queen Dowager still wants to bury everything under the rug. Excuse me again. Under the rug, while the Queen's wanting everything to come to light, because she believes that when the truth is revealed, it would help the king, her husband, be able to overcome the guilt that he's feeling for what happened 20 years ago, and that way it would help him become a better person, make him be happier, because he's able to not have to carry that burden anymore and hide what happened 20 years ago. So those two are going head to head. We see the Queen Dowager doing her last gasp of trying to intimidate the Queen and get her to back down. She reveals the truth about one of her sons and the baby, having a baby with a woman. Wedlock. You get that part of it. But in the end, the Queen was able to convince the king what was best for him was to reveal what actually happened 20 years ago. Spoiler alert there. And then, but what I did really appreciate it is, thank you for sticking around as long as a lot. What I really did appreciate of this is at the last half an hour, we got to see like the after effects of what happened with the king's decision. We got to see all our main characters, main players in the story, how their lives are being, how they're living their lives now that everything's been settled. We got to see a lot of the Crown Prince and the Crown Princess, their lives. That was kind of an interesting thing because it kind of felt like he was trying to do a bucket list for her. Like, she's terminally ill and that she's gonna die, and so he's trying to like cross off all the things that she wanted to do with him and stuff. So it kind of gave that kind of feeling. I mean, she does have like a heart problem and she's pregnant, so I mean, and any time back in that time period, I mean, pregnancy could be the woman's deathbed because that was one of the common ways for women to die back in then. But it just kind of feel like he was like, well, we gotta do this stuff because she might die. That's the feeling I got for him. But I know he was just trying to make her happy because she had that little in her diary, all the stuff she wanted to do with him. It was great to see their relationship being like a real husband and wife type of thing. We got to see also on those lines of the king and the queen, like the high respect to have for each other. Like, they actually do care for each other. And what I did appreciate in this series was how the king and the queen worked hand in hand to solve some of the problems. Like, he trusted her with the decisions on a way to handle the conflict, what was going on in the story, and she trusted him into being her support and backing her up in this. It's also show going over this, especially this last episode or so, and I guess it was little breadcrumbs throughout, was kind of like attack on tradition and being a progressivism and traditional stuff. We see that in the last episode where she's trying, last couple episodes really, where she's talking about how the queen should be progressive, she should be kind and kind of progressive and stuff. We see like when the prince leaves the palace and stuff, where she's talking about, you know, progressivism. You know, I guess it's all right to be progressive. Tradition is great too. I just believe, like, you know, you should respect traditions, then tweak them, you know, because that tradition's not always good. You know, there's things that always can be improved on, but you still, when you progress and make changes, like the root of why you do things should still be there, like the good stuff. But you know, it was kind of like one of the storylines, I guess, is kind of like doing progressism, like taking away the bad stuff of traditionalism. You see that kind of like throughout a little bit. The Queen Dowager was very much everything has to stay the same, even though she was murdering people. She kind of went overboard in that. But it was kind of like the feeling I had as the last episode was winding down. Overall, I liked the series. Like I said, I was kind of let down on episode 15 and 16. I was thinking about it would be more dramatic. But it wasn't. It was kind of clear by the end of 15 that what was going to happen. That, you know, they were going to defeat the evil people. And I guess the story was more about, I guess you could say the story really ended once her son became the crown prince and he survived, because, you know, that was mainly what the first 14 episodes were about, was the queen trying to help her sons stay in power and not get kicked to the curb kind of thing. But hey, kind of dragging this video on. I think it's time to end it. Thank you. Have a great day. And until next time, bye.